How to have power in the backhand flick, explained by coach EmRatThich. To generate real power in the backhand flick, you must engage the whole body, not just the arm. Many amateurs only use the wrist or forearm. That's wrong. The key is body coordination, especially the core and non-playing hand. Step 1. Use both hands. During the flick motion, your left hand, non-dominant hand, must move in the opposite direction of your racket hand. This creates torque in the core. Imagine pulling a towel in both directions. This tension builds rotation and power. Step 2. Core-centered movement. Your body must rotate around the central axis, your core. Don't just swing with the arm, rotate from the waist and let the racket follow. This is the secret of Malong and Fan Zhendong's rhythm. You see their whole body flow with the shot. Step 3. Synchronized release and recovery. Flick and stop at the same time, then recover using the body's natural rebound. The motion should feel elastic, not stiff. Don't use the hand to recover. Let your body bring the racket back.
Hey, you'll notice many players, when they practice their backhand flick, they don't use the body at all. They just swing the arm like this. I believe many players have this bad habit. We must avoid it. Actually, from this step, you're already doing it wrong. So how do we do a proper backswing? You find the contact point using the body. That's the premise. So why do we use the body to pull the racket? Let me show you clearly from the side. If I only use my arm, the backswing distance is about 30 centimeters, maybe 30 or 40 centimeters. You can see my body doesn't move. My hand is inside this triangle in front of my body. Now watch when I pull using my stomach. I use my core to pull back. Look, if this is the contact point and that's the ball. See that? The distance is about the same. Because my body creates a stable frame right here. The body's power is stronger than the arm. So our structure must always be more important than just the arm swing. When we flick, we need to find the friction point. Not just move with the arm. We initiate from the stomach and hips pulling back. Use the body to pull inward. Then move forward to generate friction, and add lateral friction to the right. Now you can see clearly. Coach Sun isn't moving the wrist. Now serve one ball here. That's enough. Watch me. At this moment, we need to break another misunderstanding. How to break it? Previously we talked about pulling with the arm. Pulling the arm in the fixed point flick is okay. But another common idea is, I must twist my wrist. Twisting the wrist, okay. Let me show you clearly. With the simplest angle. Serve to fast balls. Watch. You see, after twisting too much, your recovery speed drops. First issue. Second, your consistency is gone. So yes, we use wrist and fingers in backhand flick, but not in an exaggerated way. We don't do big inward-outward wrist movements, and we don't exaggerate finger grip pressure. How do we use the wrist? It's simple. Imagine your middle finger is being pulled by a string, like it's tied to your wrist by a string. So during the friction process, your wrist is hanging loose. Only when it's hanging loose is it stable. Because we're using inverted rubber, pips can be stiff or loose. But with inverted rubber, how do we generate friction? You should feel like you're pulling the arc forward and to the right. Pulling this line, pulling it over. Your WRIST you can see in the super slow motion. My wrist does apply a short, sharp force here. There's a little burst of energy inside. What does that mean? As you know, wrist power is subtle and precise. It's definitely not about brute strength. So you just need to focus that small part. Use it precisely, and that's enough. If you swing your wrist too much, it looks like effort, but you can't actually transfer that to the ball. You can't pass your wrist's power and spin to the ping pong ball. See, when I flick like this, power becomes scattered. Just hit one by one. If I keep it the same, with forearm and wrist relatively fixed, when I contact the ball, there's a braking action at the moment of friction. You can see, look at the racket head. It moves. It shakes. That shake is the wrist power being transmitted. Transferred through the wrist. The motion range is about 2 to 3 centimeters. See, 5 centimeters. 2 to 3 to 5 centimeters is enough for the friction. Alright, I'll show you just one. Watch. Bang, yes. Bang. It's stable, and this ball has spin. You can hear no impact sound. Right. So this is pure friction, just forward motion. Forward and to the right, forward and to the right. Yes, that forward right motion. Now then, regarding friction, like I said earlier, let's talk about the third point. Some players, when creating friction, to go forward or lift upward to create it. What does that lead to? When your opponent is also spinning hard, if you just move forward to receive, you'll see this happen. A strongly spun loop, watch this. You'll notice, you skim the surface, see that? You just skim it. Or what else? You directly eat the spin. Or eat the spin and it flies off, because the ball is very spin. You can't confront it directly, it'll slip. So it slips off. Then how do we neutralize the opponent's spin and add our own spin? Very simple, look. Watch this ball. If he loops normally like this, let's say he actively rolls it forward, very strong spin. Now if we confront him with equal spin, directly fight it. Like I said earlier, the rubber can't handle it. It's not human. It can't absorb, so the rubber will slip. Or you'll skim the surface, or hit the edge of the blade. So what we need to do in this action is, what is the ball's trajectory? I can add a little impact first. Just a little. What's the key? You can even directly brush the ball forward. Neutralize it and brush to the right. In other words, brush outward. After neutralizing, I can generate my own spin. I'll demonstrate how to loop with heavy spin. See that? You can. You won't just skim the surface, and you'll grip the ball tightly. That's the third key point. The fourth very important point is, the whole ball feels easy to play. Some people like to rip, but why do they miss? They lose the feel when it's spinning. But when they block, or when they drive, why is that? Because they naturally borrow the incoming power. They just punch it through. It goes through like a regular drive. Impact. But when they rip, they rush it. They reach out with their hand and brush like this. Then you'll notice the contact point becomes hard to find, unstable, and even when they rip through, the arm is fully extended. First, the arm's straight. Second, the mind isn't settled. Don't rush it either. Be steady and grounded. Sink your weight into your legs, then focus your energy. Breath control is key here. To generate spin, we need to bring out our internal force from the Danshin area. Let it flow toward the ball. So we shouldn't let the energy stay in the chest, and just raise the hand to brush like this. Ah, that kind of brushing looks awkward. We should calmly and steadily release the breath. Exhale and settle down afterward. You'll notice that your contact point is not as rushed anymore. You're not anxiously chasing the ball to brush or rip. Look, when you rush, you lose your balance. We still lean forward, but just slightly. Weight on the forefoot. No need to throw your whole body forward. Otherwise, you'll lose your center of gravity. So both legs should be spread out. Of course, when doing block or push block, you can stand more upright. But when ripping, your legs should be wider than shoulder width. After sinking your energy down, draw the ball into your body. It's like catching the ball. Then rip it to the right, forward and right. There. See, this grip on the ball is very solid. Yes. Right. And it won't be like hitting one rushed ball and that's it. With this method, you can continue rallying. Yes. Right. So, you can see my backswing starts from the body. And the stroke also uses the body. At the end, it's the body that moves forward. The body drives it forward. That's fine. It's normal to move the forearm when hitting. Just use the forearm. Add some natural wrist move. No need for extra, unnecessary actions. No need to twist the wrist out. Right, so what we do is, body backswing. Body moves forward. Then the right hand and forearm extend to the right. At this point, one key difference is this. Backhand is different from forehand. In forehand, you can fully rotate the waist. But in backhand, it's the opposite. Your hand must stay in front. You can't rotate because if you rotate, when the rally speeds up, you won't have time. You can't rotate fast enough. Right. So in that case, each stroke must be powerful and make use of incoming force. How do we actively create spin? By using both hands at the same time, exerting force in both directions. At this point, The core uses the body's center. Using the body's center as the axis, I'm pulling the ball to both sides. Then you can return to your normal loop. The power comes from hand turning. The loop is all about that rotation. We can repeat it many times. Come on, a few fast ones. Bang, bang. Watch my left hand, right? Bang, 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 bang. So, it's about striking and breaking at the same time. You strike, break, and return simultaneously. This creates a beautiful body rhythm. And let me add one more thing. You often see Ma Long and Fan Zhendong in matches and training. They often use this body motion. It's not just hand circling. If it's only hand circling, like you imagine it, the motion looks like this. So my hand moves forward and right, then returns forward and right. Now I add body rotation. You'll see. I'm relying on my body to return. After striking, I don't return with my hand. Not using hand circles. I rely on the body's natural return. That creates a very smooth rhythm. Why rhythm? So I can keep hitting smoothly, continuously. You all know, if you play like this, it's not real continuity. Very stiff continuity. But our rhythm, look at the national team's rhythm. Fan Zhendong's rhythm. Coach Sun's rhythm, very smooth. Is just a part of the backswing process. After striking, the return is part of the whole body motion. The entire backswing and recovery are body-driven. That's the overall framework of the backhand. That's why we say, this is the continuity and structure of the backhand technique.
Read more about table tennis on my blog, PingSunday.com. Get free ebook and coaching advices. See you in the next video.